Good morning, dear students. Myself, Professor S.B. Bhendigeri, Department of Economics, taking online classes for PUC first year commerce students. Dear students, today let us understand the meaning and calculation of frequency array. This is most important question for the examination point of view. Now let us understand what is frequency array. The term frequency array is nothing but the classification of data for a discrete variable is known as frequency array. Here discrete variable is nothing but the variable which can take only certain values. Its values changes only by infinite jumps, okay, between one value to another value. But it does not take any intermediate values between them, okay. I hope you understood. It is taking only certain values. In between intermediate values does not take into account in case of discrete variable. That the situation is called as a frequency array. Now let us understand how to calculate frequency array with the help of given data information in the examination. Okay, I have taken one example over here, that is preparing a frequency array using survey data of 45 families for the number of cell phones they used based on their replies as recorded. If we are making a survey on cell phones used by number of families in a particular community, if we have taken the 45 families as our, for example, survey, in that what number of families are using what number of cell phones, we have to understand. In the data information, one thing is very important to understand. The lowest value of data will be the lowest number of cell phones that family is using, and the highest value of data will be the highest number of cell phones that family using. Okay, that we have to understand over here. Let us understand how many families are using zero number of cell phones. Okay, before going to that, we have to make two columns. In the first column, we have to mention number of cell phones each family is using, and in the second column, we have to mention size of the family. What number of families are using what number of cell phones, we have to understand here. Okay, look at the first, for example, number of cell phones and the size of the family in the first column. Okay, here the size of the family is 1. One family is using zero number of cell phones. Okay, look at the data information. In that only one family is using zero number of cell phones. It means that family is not using any type of cell phone. With the help of a survey, you have understood out of 45 families, one family is not using any kind of cell phone. Now look at the second one, second column. Here there are 7 families using only one cell phone, with each family is using only one cell phone. So that kind of families are 7. The families which are using only one cell phone are 7 in that group of families. Okay, look at the third one, for example, that is 14 families, okay, are using 2 cell phones each. In that data given, if you are looking at data, you are able to understand there are 14 families using 2 cell phones each. When you are coming to the conclusion, when you are making a survey on that particular, for example, research, and when you are taking the 45 families as your survey, out of that you are coming to the conclusion there are 14 families using 2 cell phones each. For example, each family is using 2 cell phones. And look at the next one. There are 13 families, my dear students, using 3 cell phones each for example. Each family is using 3 cell phones. Like that, how many families are there? 13 families. Okay, one family is using 0 cell phone, 7 families are using only 1 cell phone, 14 families are using 2 cell phones each, and 13 families are using only 3 cell phones for example. Now look at the next one. Only 5 families are using 4 cell phones each. Out of that 45 families, after making a survey, you have came to the conclusion only 5 families are there who are using 4 cell phones each. And look at the next one. Okay, 2 families are using 5 cell phones. Only 2 families are there in that 45 families. Only 2 families are using 5 cell phones. In that family, in that house, 5 cell phones are using. Look at the next one. Here again 2 families are using 6 cell phones. Okay, if you are searching that, you will be able to understand. Okay, only 2 families are using 6 cell phones for example. Okay, see, here one 6 is there, here one more 6 is there for example. Only these 2 families are using 6 cell phones. Look at the last one. In the last column, only one family is using 7 cell phones, my dear students. Okay, only one family is there that is using 7, for example, cell phones. Look at the data information. Here 7. Only one family in the entire 45 families using 7 cell phones. So in this way, you have to make calculation of frequency array. Okay. And one more important thing is there, whatever data information is given in the question paper, that should be tally with your size of the family and number of cell phones. Whatever example they are taking, that has to be tally with that, for example, data information. Okay, if you are counting the number of observations, number of families in that data, that should be tally with this calculation. So there are 45 families who are there in the data. So here in the total it must be 45. And the minimum number of cell phones each, for example, minimum number of cell phone a family uses is 0. 0 must be there in the data. And maximum number of cell phones, the number of families using, that is 7, that must be there. So that is the range for calculation of this frequency array 0 to 7. Okay, number of cell phones is taken between 0 to 7 values of the data information. Okay, I hope you understood. This is very easy calculation, my dear students. You will get 4 marks in, for example, 2-3 minutes by this particular question. I hope you understood. And one more important thing is there. This frequency array is also known as univariate frequency distribution. Univariate frequency distribution is nothing but that we have to understand over here. Okay, univariate frequency distribution is nothing but when data is classified on the basis of single variable is known as univariate frequency distribution. It is also known as one-way frequency distribution. Okay, one-way frequency means only there are 45 families using only cell phones. In addition to cell phones, if they are using any other, for example, material, any other product, that is comes under bivariate frequency. But here 45 families are using only single product, that is a cell phone. Because of that, this frequency array is also a good example for meaning of univariate frequency distribution. I hope you understood, my dear students. Now let us understand what is the meaning of univariate frequency. I said that is a distribution when data is classified on the basis of single variable is known as univariate frequency distribution. It is also known as one-way frequency distribution. Okay, Now look at the second one, meaning of bivariate frequency distribution. Bivariate frequency distribution is nothing but the data which is classified on the basis of categorical variables on both horizontal and vertical angle, and it is also known as two-way frequency distribution. When the data is classified on both the angle, for example on horizontal angle and vertical angle, that kind of frequency distribution is called as bivariate frequency distribution. Now let us understand this bivariate frequency distribution with the help of calculation in the next class. Okay, with this we'll stop today's lecture. Thank you very much.